right, outside linebackers. Base or trips, base alignment, outside shade number 2, trips alignment, outside shade number 2, run assignment. Don't let number 2 outside you if you're on 2. Don't number 3 outside you if you're on 3. Regardless of alignment, on a down block, you're going to hammer. On a base block, same technique that we teach the corners with a Saban. If it's a reach, you're going to run with them. And then what we have is we have different jobs because we slant. We're going to either play tuck or chase, okay? Tuck means if the ball goes away, I'm going to circle back over the top, okay, and I'm going to help with any cutbacks. If I'm the chase, I'm going to come off the backside and I go, all right? I coach the outside linebackers, and they're kind of the unit that hooks the front to the back. We work on these things, you know, non-stop, these 4 things. You come to our games, you know, Tom's been there. I'm over with the outside linebackers. First thing you're going to see them taking their steps, getting hands-on guys, knocking them down, those sorts of things. We're going to do reach before the game. We're going to do base before the game. We're going to do all those sorts of things. This is probably the most difficult block. Okay, they had a big old Sasquatch at tight end this last year. He was pretty tough. Okay, so if you don't get your hands on that guy, you're going to have some issues. This is something that we pulled from it. Okay, so let's say this is tight end, ball side here. You're going to, do your thing. You're going to hold the edge. If he cuts back inside you, okay, this is the same thing we'll do with the corners. We'll now roll back and get into the play. Okay, but you're going to hold the edge first. If he's reaching me, I'm going to just run as hard as I can until I get hip to hip, get him off, and there I'm at. If he down blocks, okay, this is where we're going to hammer technique. I heard Coach talking about run arming guys. So I'm going to come here. He's going to be here. Now maybe Coach is coming at me as a guard, as a fullback, what have you. I'm going to hit him with the outside shoulder, get an inside fit, and bounce this guy up and over. Okay, so hammer technique on down blocks. Doing it all the time. Okay, if you want to talk about drills or anything like that, we got hammer drill, we got reach drill, we're just going boom, 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 blah, 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 go. Yeah, if you want to hit the next slide. Okay, I'll take over on this just for a second here. Okay, so Coach was talking about, and this is just good. I just want you guys to watch, and we'll kind of do this like that row of guys. If you ever watch the corners, this middle row of guys, if you want to watch the safeties, and this row of guys, you watch the outside backers, okay? And we'll do this with the kids, and we'll, push play, and we'll see what's going on there. And this is before the snap, and obviously they're kind of going and doing their thing. And we haven't snapped the ball yet, now the ball snapped. What did you see? That's good. What did you see that's bad? With me, I missed something. And I want this to be interactive. Corners, did you guys see anything? Guys, you need to see it again. You didn't know somebody's going to ask you a question. Okay. So before the snap, as far as things that we talk about, things that we want to reiterate, things that we want to see and do, anybody, what would you see? Communication.
Safeties are slopping as the tailback flops over.
Yep. They're communicating what's going on. Hey, you're doing this, you're doing that. You don't know what they're saying. Hopefully they're saying something intelligent, but they're talking. You saw this guy talking to this guy. You saw this guy talking to this guy. You saw this guy talking to this guy. That's that pyramid. Now we're in a base call on this, okay? We're in a base call. Coach was talking about, setting up. I don't know what we're going to play a lot of times when we come out, all right? I'll maybe holler something, hey, give me a trips, or give me trips right or left, or hey, go base on this, depending on where they're at, or we'll have a set idea. If they're in this formation, this is where we want to be. But this is in general, we came out, this is against Platteville, and we're playing a base. Look, we got our 2 safeties up, and we've got our outside linebackers on number 2. Okay? And now in our base look, we said we cannot let our outside linebackers let 2 where? Can't go outside. You can push them down and in, that's fine, but you can't let them outside. Cannot do it. Okay? So now if we take a look and see if they do what they're supposed to do here. Okay? Just kind of look at the outside linebackers, see if they do what they're supposed to do. All right? Thoughts on that? What'd you see? Okay, he's keeping an outside shade. This guy, not so great, not terrible. Now, the trapezoid. What's the trapezoid? Anybody run the trapezoid as far as, yep. Okay, so we got the trapezoid. These guys don't need to get into their soup unless they know. So ball, play action, went this way, he's gonna run straight across, he's gonna come down, he's gonna be an alley fit. All right? He's gonna be an alley fit in there. Now if we do what we're supposed to do, he keeps an outside shade on this guy should end up fitting in there pretty nicely. And that's ultimately what happens as we go with it, okay? So that's as simple as it gets, right? Now you might get a little bit, we're doing some stunting and funky stuff here with our D lineman and whatever. This is actually a DM, but don't worry about that, that's smoke and mirrors. How much do you notice the safety is moving once the ball snapped? Not too much. We don't want them. Once they know, go. You can see it from this angle here, a little bit better. Outside backer keeps outside shade. Safety comes over, and we spill it and go. Okay, now, this is playing same team. Same call. What do you notice about how many safeties we have? Yeah, we went one high. Why? I don't know. We decided we'd go one high in that situation, right? Does it make a difference? Nah. We would change it up. Maybe I yelled something. Maybe they just decided, maybe it was down the distance, I don't know, 1st and 10, whatever it is. We just decided, hey, we're going to rotate trips to the field side, so we're going to go trips left. So that means the right safety would rotate high. This means the safety on this side is going to have an inside shade. He's going to post, so he should step with his right foot, post this guy, read 1 to 2. That gets this guy looking at 3. Who's going to become 3? I don't know. If he comes across here, then he's going to slow play the quarterback as he pulls potentially. If he comes out and runs a wheel, he'll go out and smack 3. I don't know what's going to happen any more than they do. But they're going to go play their spots. Okay? So this would be what we would coach him up on. He's coming across. That means quarterback's going to probably be 3. Don't let him come outside. Right? This guy's going to run and read guards on the alley. Okay? This is an outside backer here. He's going to push him down because that's an outside backer. He's got to push 2 down. Okay? He doesn't do a great job, but he works himself back out. If you look, we're going to rip, restack, replace right here. And it's not a bad play in general. Okay? So, we've got different examples of this. Here's Arcadia. Just from an alignment standpoint, if you look at it, did we line up in base or did we align in trips? Base, okay? Okay, base is any 2x2 formation potentially. It could be a 3x1 formation if we don't feel like that guy is a real legit situation to get outside. So base, there we go. We're going to go ahead. See it? Okay. Man, outside linebacker got roasted. He beats him outside. He's got to run with him. Okay, you can't let that guy beat you outside. Right? Now in terms of what we got here, here's our 1 high, here's our flat, so on and so forth. Okay, you can see him start to trade him off. He would pick him up if he went wheel. We're not guarding grass over here. Okay, he's reading 1 to 2. 2 wheel comes out, he'd sit on 2. There's nobody coming. He's running with him. He's playing low shoulder because he knows he's got 1 high. Right? You could say it was maybe a little bit of a play action fake. Number 15 here, he's reading pass this way, we get real specific with them, okay? If I'm reading pass this way, and all of a sudden I see that I'm going to run this way, and I see it's pass, we want them to turn this way because we know that guy's coming over the top. That way you get where you need to be in terms of depth, right? And he's picking them up and running. Okay, so gives you a little bit of an idea. Here's, and you get these teams that play at the college stadiums, you can't get better tape than this. Here's a situation, you're 2 by 2, so we're starting out in base. Okay, Tom's probably taking all the notes now. So, they don't just start in a spot and not move. So what if they start in a base situation, so we're in a base situation, and they move, okay? And we feel pretty good about this because our stuff looks similar, and we change responsibilities, but we know what we're doing, and they don't. So he starts taking off. What do you see happening here? So he takes off in motion. What do you see happening? Safety's coming down. Okay, safety's coming down. Why? Because what they're doing is they're creating trips. So the only thing that we should be yelling is trips. Don't yell motion. Don't yell trips. You better yell the direction. Trips right! So you got trips right. Okay, that means that he's going to move down. All right? Here's the thing that you have to look at with this. The thing that becomes difficult is, if you remember the outside linebacker's job, he can't let 2 or 3 outside him, right? As this son of a gun starts coming over, it's real difficult to figure out which one's 2 or which one's 3. You know, he gets past that guy, it's pretty obvious, he becomes 3. If he's in the backfield when the ball's getting snapped, I don't know if he's 2 or 3. Here's what I tell him. Make him confident. What would you tell him? I'm asking you, because maybe you got some better idea. What would you tell him? So his job is don't let 2 or 3 outside. What are you going to tell him?
We could probably mirror read the wing, because if they're trying to run jet sweep, I assume that wing is going to try to reach us.
Yep,
So
yep, that makes good sense. Run jet sweep, this guy's going to probably come here, you know, but maybe runs counter back. We tell him to hit the shit out of somebody. Be definitive, okay? Here's the deal. If you go in, you know, the Vikings stormed into Europe, okay? You think they were real adept battlers and, you know, they had swords? No, they had freaking battle axes. So you got a bunch of crazy Norwegians coming off a boat with battle axes, swinging as hard as they possibly can. You might get home, you might not, but the chances are you could take somebody's arm or head off, okay? Just come hard. That's all we're asking. Because if you do that and you're definitive, then everybody else can play off of you. That's one of the things that I found with our outside linebackers. Don't hamstring them, don't get them thinking, I don't know who 2 is at that point in time, hit the hell out of somebody. Keep them inside you, okay? Don't screw with their heads, okay? To that end, we'll watch this. Okay, you know, doesn't do too bad a job. He attacks, gets outside number 2. You can see the safety rotating down. Okay, he's going to be able to start alley running. And like I said, our corners don't have to be great tacklers, just get them on the ground. He restacks, gets that guy where he's supposed to be, and then, oh, there he is. Okay, we're in good shape. Okay? Another one. Does a nice job. Stays on number 2. Now he's got to come back in. This is a pretty good example of our tuck technique. Okay, we're slanting this way. So this guy becomes the tuck linebacker. He's going to come up over the top. Sees that it's away. He's going to start working over the top. And he can get into the run. Okay, here's a really good example of what I just talked about. Okay, watch our outside linebacker. All right, so they're getting tricky here. They go end over. This guy is what we call a Ted. He's dead. He can't do anything. All right, but he's still a number 2. Stay with it. All right, watch what he does. All right, boom. Just, I don't know. I'm not going to let 2 get outside me. Okay, what does he allow? We're in a base set. He allows the alley runner to run the alley. Okay, boom, come up, we can make plays. All right? I'm gonna go to this one. This is one of my favorites, because this is my kid actually here. He said this hurt. Okay, what's his job? He's supposed to set the edge. He's supposed to set the edge. He weighs 140 pounds. He's gonna set the edge. As that, okay, he goes flying. Boom. It's launched, right? Looks even more spectacular from this angle. We watch this at home. Okay, comes up, sets the edge, boom, he goes flying off. Did he do his job? Yeah. He did it about as well as a 140 pounds, slow kid can. Set the edge, because if that kid wants to bounce now, we've got our safety that can keep playing over the top. We've got our outside linebacker, getting on, hands on two, running with him, keeping the edge, getting leverage there, okay? And that lets everybody get where they gotta be. Okay? What does it look like when you don't do it right? Because I don't want to make you think that nobody scored on us this last year. Turned out they did. Okay? Watch this guy. He's a really, really, really good athlete. Really good athlete. Okay? But sometimes he go cowboy on us. Watch what he does. What'd he do? Get inside. Why? I got this guy. Well, it turns out that guy's pretty fast. Okay? And now, we didn't do an assignment, we missed a tackle, and there's a touchdown. Kind of going back to and touching on what we talked about. Difference between the last play and this play is you got one guy that, hey, I'm just going to go do my thing. This guy, and not to speak ill of him, we watch this in tape, and this goes back to your culture and all those sorts of things. Look at what you do. Let's get it done. And this is the pursuit thing. So here's your corner, and I talked about this. They're going to throw the ball over here. Okay, they're going to throw the ball over here. A little bubble, boom. Okay, this corner he's outside the hash. Well, how many of us have had guys that'll give up that play? They'll just get over there, whatever. Okay, keeps coming. Boom, makes a tackle. That could have been 6. That would have been the difference in the game that we played against them between a win and a loss, because he just did what his job was supposed to be. Okay, so that's good stuff. That's stuff to think about. If you're going to take anything from this outside of what Coach Thierry was talking about before, this is good stuff. I would Google Nick Saban split safety coverage, Google Nick Saban defending the pass, because that's the stuff I'm going to talk about next. Okay. Really good stuff. He talks about half-turn run there. He talks about a lot of things that we do. We want our kids to understand the field. How many of your kids would know how wide the field is? How many of us know how many? If you're talking about that, it's 53 1/3 yards. I don't know why. Same reason baseball hasn't, 90 feet. Seems like 100 would be more efficient, but they went 90. I don't know. Okay, terminology. What's your flat? What's your deep third? What's your, whatever it is. What's trips means? What's base means? What beats your coverage? If your kids know going in, man, we're going to get beat here. That's doable. But if we get beat here, that's bad. That's catastrophic. Can't have it. Okay? How do we rely on ourselves to help ourselves and others with their assignments? Being smart, being selfless, knowing where you're going to put yourself, so that you can go, man, I'm an outside linebacker. I really like playing out in space more. At tight ends there, I really want to line up on you. What you're going to line up on them. Okay? How our assignments help others with their assignments. And then just looking at that. Oops. Yeah.
One thing with the terminology in the field, I coach young kids. Walk to it with them. Because we've been doing this for a while. Flat, hash, you say all this stuff to the kids, boundary, field, whatever. There'll be 10 kids that have no idea what you're talking about. And they're not going to tell you because they don't want to be embarrassed. So walk and go, this is a flat. Okay? This is how far it is, this is where it ends. Okay? They'll understand it, they'll get it, especially the young kids. And you don't have to do that when they're older.
That's huge. That's a great point. I was a wrestler by trade. All my kids play basketball. So I've gotten into coaching basketball. And yeah, you're yelling paint. Kids looking at you like, So I realized about a few years ago, well, this is the paint. Oh, this is the free throw line. This is the lane line. This is the baseline. This is lane line extended. This is all that stuff. Yeah, you can't simplify it enough. Okay, they talk about Marty starting the first day of practice. This is a football. You know, that's real. Okay,